Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be discussing about Bitcoin and the crypto market. We're gonna talk about more from a macro point of view, where we are, what could be happening, and of course guys, before we continue, don't forget to subscribe for the channel for more updates. We post one video every single day, and also if you want to be part of our amazing VIP group guys, you can join. Link in the description below. You can see our trading results. The guys, we are here, community of amazing traders making crazy gains. So if you want to join, look at these guys from one of our members. Click in link in the description below, and you could be part of a very big community of profitable traders. But guys, let's cut the chase now and let's go straight away into this chart from one of the best analysts, I believe, macro analyst on in crypto. His name is TechDev. You can follow him on Twitter. So at the moment, guys, TechDev is depicting this chart over here, which shows the M1 money supply from the Federal Reserve compared to Bitcoin. And you can see that whenever the money supply has broken out, compared to Bitcoin, that was the start of a parabolic blow off top. So if you actually have a look at the M1, which is pretty much the money, the liquid money supply from the Federal Reserve, when you see that this supply has increased over time, in general, this signifies a uptrend in stocks. And if you actually have a look at that chart right now, this M1 money supply is showing a potential bullish divergence. You can see that on the RSI is pointing to the upside, whereas this money supply is going down a little bit. But at the moment is reverting a little bit. So we still haven't had, in my opinion, a big amount of money supply going up since 2020-21, and therefore I'm expecting that when this M1 money supply is going to start to ramp up to the upside, that could bring lots of liquidity into the markets and of course cause a blow off top with Bitcoin. Because guys, actually, if you have a look at the situation right now, there is no euphoria in the markets. There is zero euphoria. So you can see the market is flat in crypto, stock market as well, and we are pretty much at all-time highs. So I really will be interested to see, once this euphoria is going to kick in, what is going to happen to crypto and also to stocks. And again, I don't want to be a perma bull, I'm not a moon boy, but this chart over here, guys, it's very important. Now, few news for this week and also next week as well, guys. This is going to be a very good catalyst which could push Bitcoin to new highs, and is going to be the European Central Bank potential cutting interest rates, and also the Bank of Canada cutting interest rates. Why this is going to be very, very important? It's going to be very important because if Bank of Canada as well as the European Central Bank is going to cut interest rates for the first time, that's going to be incredibly bullish for stocks and crypto. Why? Because usually markets discount this kind of events, and trust me, they're not priced in. And therefore, if market makers and institutions are going to see that Bank of Canada is already cutting interest rates, as well the European central banks, they're going to believe that the Fed is going to be next on 12th of June, and they could potentially push Bitcoin to a new all-time high before June 12th. So this week is going to be very important to see what the Bank of Canada and the ECB is going to do, because then markets are going to react based on the decision. So in case, as I said before, we're going to see, let's say, the Bank of Canada cutting interest rates. The market might think that during June 12 at the FOMC meeting, we're going to see the Federal Reserve also thinking about cutting interest rates, and that could really push the price of Bitcoin to a new all-time high or to previous all-time high. Now, let's have a look at the chart, guys, and let's see what's going on, with the monthly chart. Today, as I said before, is going to be a lesson on macroeconomics to see the point of the situation. I want to show you like a few interesting facts. At the moment, guys, we had a beautiful monthly closure of Bitcoin, so we are still over here. Although we had a bearish engulfing candle on the monthly over here, now we are closing like this again above this line of support, which in my opinion is quite bullish. We had a retest down to here, we pushed back to the upside, and right now we're still deciding what's going to be happening next. There's one I would say chart which always comes to my mind to have a look at the future expectation of Bitcoin, and is to have a look at Bitcoin compared to the Japanese yen. The Japanese yen has been pretty much discounted like crazy, and what I think is that what we could be seeing could be the same scenario with the Japanese yen against Bitcoin. I'm going to show you the chart in 2 seconds, but at the moment, guys, looking at Bitcoin over here, I'm still in the camp that we're going to see a potential mid-term top coming, I would say, sooner rather than later, and it all depends on what the Fed is going to do. So if we're going to have, let's say, on June 12th, a low tick in inflation, so a reduction in inflation with a consequent potential rate cut from the Federal Reserve, that could ignite the markets, could push the markets to really way higher levels, because pretty much cutting interest rates is going to lead to monetary expansion, is going to lead to of course more money into risk assets. Why? Because lots of investors are going to take money away from fixed income. They're also going to of course reallocate this money into assets which can give them more return. Second reason, guys, is because the Treasury, the U.S. Treasury has began to purchase bonds from investors, which then, of course, as I said before, these investors are going to sell their bonds, their fixed income, buy more Bitcoin, and also because about the Bitcoin ETF, Grayscale has sold so many, and they're going to run out of reserve very soon if they're going to continue with that. So at the end of the day, the selling pressure was coming from Grayscale selling so many Bitcoins. Also, it was coming from the Fed being stubborn and not having any monetary expansion. So right now, everything is reversing to the Fed cutting interest rates and potentially injecting liquidity into the market. So if that is the case, that we're going to see fireworks coming soon. But at the moment, guys, I like to concentrate more in the next 1 to 2 months, in between, let's say, June, July, August. So what I can see from here, guys, would be at the moment, I still can't see like a really parabolic blow off top, coming, where Bitcoin is going to go, from here and just push, up to $200,000, whatever it is going to be. But moreover, like at the moment, I see more of a mid-term top, which could be coming, as I would say, in the next, 1 to 2 months. And I like to call this some wave. Some people call it wave 3. I call it like, wave 5 of this big movement. And my scenario from a macro point of view, guys, is going to be roughly around this area over here. So I would say in between $83,000 to $96,000. So what I could be seeing from here could be a straight push up to this area over here, and then have a pullback, from here, or maybe one more push to the downside from here, and then the final push around like 90K. Then from here, what I could be expecting could be a correction, right? Correction again, utilizing our first level of diagonal support, maybe around this area over here. So we could be seeing something like this. So I'm gonna go to one support over here. We can also go to have another support around here. So if we're gonna break, let's say, this area over here, then we could be falling like now to here. So again, not financial advice, this is my own opinion, but what I would like to see from here, guys, would be if we're going to go and have this mid-term top. I'm going to just cancel this one to show you a little bit better. But if you're going to see, for example, like a mid-term top coming maybe in June or July up to this area over here, so in between 80 to 90K, then I could be expecting after a correction down at least to this area over here at 65,000, and then from 65,000 we could see a big push to the upside. But in the worst case scenario, let's say that we're going to have a recession, it's coming soon, then people are going to freak out, the stock market is going to sell like crazy, then I could be expecting something like this, maybe just like a more of a like a sell-off, around here, around $45,000, and then from 45 to 50,000, then the final parabolic blow off top. So this movement, guys, is gonna come and it's gonna be dependent on the cycle. So what I mean is we're gonna see, okay, so the Federal Reserve is gonna cut their interest rates straight away, let's say in June, July, then I can see this happening, and then they're gonna keep cutting until the economy is gonna pretty much break down, because that's what I believe is gonna be happening, and then we're gonna see maybe around end of 2024 this movement to 140, 130,000 for Bitcoin. Or otherwise, we're going to see the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates, let's say right now, and then we're going to see a potential recession, something breaking, which could, cause a sell-off in the stock market until the end of the election, so until end of 2024. We're going to go down to 46, 47,000, and then once the Fed is going to start to pump money again into the markets, then we're going to see the final bull off top scenario. So that's what I'm considering right now for Bitcoin. If I can guess, my guess will be scenario number one, to be honest. I feel that we are really due for a nice pump to the upside, and also I believe in that scenario for also one other reason. I want to show you right now the Bitcoin chart against the Japanese yen. It's going to give you a little bit of perspective. But as you can see from here, guys, this is the chart, the monthly chart, Bitcoin against the Japanese yen. So if you actually have a look from here, from this point to this point to this point to this point, right? So the Bitcoin against the yen has really followed this line over here. And if you see, for example, the euro, the US dollar, and all of that, you're still pretty much around here. You still haven't touched this diagonal line over here. And with the Japanese yen, we had a big push to the upside, correction, and then it keeps going up this way. So what I'm expecting looking at the Japanese yen, if the Fed is going to start to decide to cut interest rates, of course, you're going to see the US dollar to lose value against Bitcoin, and therefore you could be seeing this mid-term top incoming. So I'm going to go back into the Bitcoin USD. And please, guys, if you have any question, leave a comment down below if you want to know more about this scenario. But looking at the Japanese yen and Bitcoin, I'm just going to go from here to here. It really brings us to a target from here at roughly $98,000. So I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if we are going to see, I'm going to go and put my rectangle again, and we're going to see one final mid-term top all around this area over here. So pushing up to this way over here, and then after this we're gonna have a correction. But looking at the Japanese yen, that's what I can see right now happening, simply because the US dollar right now is super strong. The Japanese yen was completely beaten up. So looking at the, of course, if the Fed is gonna decide to cut interest rates, we're gonna lose value on the US dollar, and therefore it's gonna put more fuel into Bitcoin. Let's also talk about and make this argument about the US dollar more, how do I say, more not concrete, more concrete, so you can understand better. So what I'm going to show you right now from here, guys, I'm going to go on we can go on the monthly chart so you can see a little bit better. But the monthly chart is showing right now that we are pretty much into a sort of a channel. So we have one line over here, and then we have another line roughly around here with here we go, with the DXY. DXY is the measurement of the US dollar against the euro, against the Japanese yen, against the Swedish crown, and all of that. So on the monthly chart, guys, the DXY doesn't look very good in my opinion. Like, it looks like it just wants to crawl back down this way. And there are a few people arguing that we're going to see right now, we're forming a double bottom over here, which could then put us back, around this area over here. But in my opinion, looking at the current macroeconomic situation, I believe that what we could be seeing could be, and I'm going to show you utilizing some mathematical equation, what we could be seeing right now from here, guys, could be a reversal to the downside. So we could be seeing a sort of a ABCD pattern. So we're going to see one is going to be A, one is going to be so A, B, C, and D. So in my opinion, if the Fed is going to cut interest rates, okay, so they're going to cut interest rates, what I could be seeing could be a potential push to the downside. I can even show you a little bit better just from here. So if you're gonna go there and then take this point here to this point over here, and then take the point here and put it over here, guys, it brings you exactly to the 95 mark. So that will really coincide with the midterm top with Bitcoin and stocks, because once this DXY is going to bottom around this area over here, then what I could be expecting could be more upside coming from here with more pressure on BTC. But at the moment, even if you look at this and it's going to complete this pattern that we could be seeing roughly by in between July, August, September, the DXY to go down to roughly $96. And whenever you see the DXY going down, it means that the euro, the Japanese yen, and all of that is actually getting stronger, therefore making the US dollar losing value and making Bitcoin increasing value. So that's what I can see from a macro point of view. Also, we can have a look as well as the US Treasury yield, a very important indicator for analyzing the stock market and also for crypto. So we can see what's going on with that, guys. The US 10 Treasury yield is in a very interesting situation. So this is the monthly chart since 2020. So if you have a look at the psychology of market cycle, you could definitely notice that right now we are into what's it called complacency phase. So usually you have this disbelief, optimism, thrill and belief, euphoria, and then you have a big drop to the downside, complacencies from here, and then I guess if everything goes the way I'm saying, what I could be seeing could be a drop to the downside from here. So that's, of course, is going to be in line if the Fed decides to cut interest rates, if everything goes according to the plan. But if you're going to see the US 10 years yield starting to drop around this area over here, remember my words, right? If you're going to see this start to drop like that, this usually can really anticipate a big blow off top into risk assets like Bitcoin and crypto. And again, if I had to have a look at the level of support from here, that could be around this area. So we can go here, my level of support, I can go a Fibonacci, and it could really tell us, how low we could go to. And looking at the chart from here, guys, what we could be seeing could be a potential drop to 3.2% by January 2025. So if that is going to happen, guys, of course, you're going to see euphoria into the markets. And after that, if we're going to see a recession, then this thing is going to pretty much, go parabolic after that. But again, that's not something I want to talk about right now. But right now, I really want to concentrate on this scenario over here. And the reason why also I'm saying that this is going to go down as well, because on the monthly chart, we can see a proper bearish divergence on this indicator called the RSI. In general, whenever this points down this way, okay, like that, in general, this signifies a downtrend. I will probably give a little bit more of a hope to the bears, and what we could be seeing could be right now, which will indicate a mid-term top. I could be seeing the following scenario, guys. Let's say until maybe July, okay, because we are like into also like a channel from here, but let's say until July we're going to see a mid-term top of Bitcoin at roughly 90,000. Then I could be seeing this 10 years going down to roughly 4% around this area. They will probably coincide with Bitcoin going to 85k, 80, 90k, and then we're going to see one final movement to go to the upside from here, okay, which is going to go like this. In this case, Bitcoin is going to drop again to maybe 60,000, 50,000, and then when this happens, guys, what we could be seeing could be the final drop down to here. Once we break this channel over here, it's going to be over, and risk assets are going to go insane. Is this scenario going to happen? I don't know. In my opinion, it looks already quite overstretched, the US 10 years yield. So I would be expecting more, to be honest, of a downtrend from here, something like this, and then up again. So this guy is going to really help you to understand when to predict, when risk assets are going to start to go to the upside or to the downside. Now let's also have a look, guys, at the Nasdaq, S&P 500 as well. I want to show you a little bit more things so you can really understand, where we are. Let's have a look at this. I mean, the Nasdaq, guys, the monthly chart is shocking from here to be sarcastic, in the sense of it's shockingly amazing. Like, you can see that we actually printed from here. We printed a bullish monthly engulfing candle to the previous monthly bearish engulfing candle, and therefore I think that the Nasdaq is actually entering into like a blow off top euphoria phase, because you can see that it's pretty much, you know, doesn't wanna stop. And usually the way I calculate how high you could go to could be also having a look at our Fibonacci extension. And my target, guys, for this crazy parabolic trend, I don't know how you want to call it, for the Nasdaq is going to be roughly around here, and it's going to be at 21,000. So I could be expecting that if you're going to continue like that, we're going to see it blow off top to $21,000, simply because, and it could be coming right in between July and August. Because first of all, we're going to see, you know, this diagonal line coming this way, plus our Fibonacci extension is at this level over here. I don't think we're going to go higher than that. Second of all, because we could see like also like a sort of a bull flag on the monthly as well. So we take one pole here and another pole over here, and it brings us exactly to this target over here, 20,000 to 21,000. And also the other reason is because of this bullish engulfing candle on the monthly. And the last reason, guys, I want to show you as well is that what I can see from here is the fact that since almost like 2018, we had this crazy overbought RSI, which is now showing like it's could be forming a divergence coming very, very soon. So if I'm gonna see another blow off top, you know, around this area, that could really coincide, you know, from this to go up to here, 21,000, and then final dump to the downside. So that's what I can see from here. Or otherwise, as I said before, if you're gonna see with Bitcoin a midterm top, we could be seeing the Nasdaq maybe going up to here, midterm correction down for here, and then one final blow off top, maybe roughly to here, and then, you know, down again. So that's what I can see right now. So let's also have a look at the S&P 500. But this thing, guys, with macro is incredible. Like you can see, everything is actually playing out very, very well. And on the monthly, we can see what's going to be happening as well with the stock market. We can see as well, guys, this intersection here with the RSI, intersection over here, and now we're missing this last intersection. Again, we actually formed a monthly bullish engulfing candle. So the bears, I'm really sorry for you guys if you're a bear. Unfortunately, it doesn't wanna go down. So we can also see from here, guys, the Fibonacci extension. It can bring us as a first target 5,600, or next target is gonna be 7,000. So there is a very good macroeconomic analyst. He's a forecaster. His name is Dave the Contrarian, David Hunter. Lots of respect for him. I think he's a great analyst. So he's saying that his target is going to be S&P 500 to 7,000. It's funny because this guy, I really trust him. Like I think he's amazing. For my risk point of view, I'm not going to sell at 7,000, but it could be right. It definitely could be right, because this guy is very smart. But looking at the charts over here, what I could be expecting could be maybe one more tick to the upside, maybe then a drop down to here, and then one final blow off top from here. So it could be maybe 5,600, correction from here, and then final blow off top like that. If it's gonna happen, that's fantastic. If not, I don't really care, because I'm gonna be out all around here. So but that's what I can see in the charts at the moment. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it was helpful. I really hope it gave you a little bit of an insight of what's happening now with Bitcoin. Sorry, the last thing I want to talk to as well is going to be the Bitcoin dominance because everybody's asking me about alt season, you know, when it's going to start. So let's going to go on Bitcoin dominance and then we are done for today. Because of course, you know, today is Sunday. I think you want to enjoy your weekend. You don't want to stay here listening to me talking about trading. But let's have a look at this Bitcoin dominance, guys. This is very important because it's going to really help us to understand when our season is going to start. I'm going to go on the weekly and see what's happening with that, guys. We are pretty much into a rising wedge at the moment with a divergence. So I believe that Bitcoin the alt season is around the corner, and once we're gonna forcefully break, guys, this part over here, that's when you're gonna see alt season to start. When it's gonna see this one breaking down, there's gonna be fireworks. And the thing is, when is it gonna break? Let's have a look at our retracement. We can see probably the highest point we could go to. So Fib retracement, bring it up to here. So I guess we have to understand, but in general, I would say that we might see maybe one more push to the upside around this area, okay, maybe around until maybe July, August of Bitcoin dominance, where Bitcoin is going to just take the lead and go to $96,000. And then once this one breaks, guys, that's going to be the beginning of alt season. And this could be coming, I would say, after that Bitcoin is going to have a proper movement to the upside, not this little all-time high to 73K, like something like 90K, 100K, then I could be expecting altcoin season to start. And of course, that's going to be glorious because lots of altcoins have been just beaten down to the ground, and they should really bring amazing returns. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it was helpful. If you have a question, leave a comment down below. Otherwise, I'm going to see you in the next video for another updates about this crazy crypto market. Take care, and I'm going to see you soon.